All right, today we've got a real head-to-head battle on our hands. In one corner, we have the Samsung Galaxy Buds FE, and in the other, the Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro. Here's the kicker. They cost the exact same amount. So which one should you actually spend your hard-earned money on? Let's find out.
Okay, I want to kick things off with a little story that might surprise you. We did a super informal poll right here in our office, and honestly, the result was a complete landslide. 5 out of 6 people, yeah, you heard that right, actually chose the Soundcore earbuds over the ones from Samsung. So in this explainer, we're going to dig in and figure out exactly why the challenger came out so far ahead. So let's officially meet our contenders. You've got the Galaxy Buds FE coming from the massive Korean tech giant Samsung, and on the other side, the Liberty 4 Pro from the really popular Chinese audio brand Soundcore. And like I said, they're both sitting at around 3 million Vietnamese dong. This makes it a perfect, straight-up fight for your wallet.
Here's how we're going to break it all down. We're going to run them through 4 rounds. First, design and comfort. Then, noise and call quality. After that, the all-important sound off. And finally, smarts and features. And of course, we'll wrap it all up with our final verdict. Let's get into it.
All right, kicking things off with round 1, design and comfort. This is all about the physical stuff, the cases, the materials, and most importantly, how they actually feel in your ears, especially when you're wearing them for hours on end.
So the cases themselves tell a really interesting story. Samsung is playing it safe, right? They've got this traditional, rock-solid clamshell case. The hinge feels super sturdy, and you just know your earbuds are safe in there. Soundcore, though, they decided to have a little fun. They went with this cool sliding lid. It's really creative and honestly kind of fun to fidget with, but it does have a tiny bit of a wobble, so it doesn't feel quite as bomb-proof as Samsung's.
And that same difference in thinking carries over to the materials. Samsung went with a matte plastic finish. It's super practical. It doesn't get covered in fingerprints, and it's going to hold up better against everyday scratches. The Soundcore case? It's the total opposite. It's flashy, it's glossy, and it looks incredibly premium for about 5 seconds. Then it becomes an absolute magnet for fingerprints and those tiny little micro scratches. So it's really a classic showdown, practicality versus flashiness.
So what about the most important part? How do they feel in your ears? Well, even though they weigh almost exactly the same, we have a clear winner for comfort, and it's Samsung. People said they just feel less stuffy, more breathable, which is a huge deal for long listening sessions. As for controls, they both use a similar squeeze gesture on the stem, and it works great on both. But, and this is important, you have to see where Samsung cut some corners to hit this price. There's no wireless charging, and they got rid of the cool little LED lights that previous models had.
Okay, on to round 2. Noise and call quality. Let's find out which one of these does a better job of silencing the world around you and how clear you sound when you're on a call.
Hey, remember that office poll I mentioned at the very beginning? Well, here are the results in black and white. When we asked about active noise cancellation, the preference was just overwhelming. 5 out of 6 people picked the Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro for its ability to block out noise. But, believe it or not, the story is actually a little more complicated than that. So, according to data from Sound Guys, which is a great audio testing site, it's not that one is just flat out better, they're just better at different kinds of noise. The Galaxy Buds FE are amazing at killing those low-frequency rumbles, like the drone of an airplane engine, but the Liberty 4 Pro are the champs when it comes to mid- and high-frequency sounds. Think office chatter or the clicking of keyboards. So the best one for you really depends on where you plan to use them the most. Now, what if you want to let the outside world in? In that case, Samsung actually takes the lead. Its ambient sound mode just sounds way more natural, less robotic and processed. For phone calls, they both have 6 mics, and they both do a really good job. But in our tests, the Soundcore earbuds were just a little bit better at cutting out background noise, which helps your voice pop just a tad more in a loud place. And now, for what might be the main event for a lot of you. Round 3, the sound off. Let's talk about how these things actually sound. The source material really didn't pull any punches here. It said that the sound quality of the Soundcore can, and I'm quoting, crush the Samsung. Wow, that is a very strong statement. And it lines up with our office poll, where 4 out of 6 people preferred the way the Soundcore earbuds sounded. Let's get into why.
So it all comes down to their default sound. Samsung aims for a balanced, safe profile. It's really clear, it's great for vocals, and you can listen for hours without your ears getting tired. Soundcore is all about energy. It's got this powerful, bass-heavy sound that's super exciting for stuff like EDM and remixes. It definitely has more of a wow factor. And hey, if that bass is a bit too much for you, their app has a fantastic equalizer so you can tune it perfectly to your taste.
And for all you audio nerds out there, this right here is a massive technical advantage for Soundcore. It supports the LDAC codec. In simple terms, this means it can stream much higher quality, higher resolution audio over Bluetooth. If sound quality is your absolute #1 priority, this is a huge win for the Liberty 4 Pro. All right, we are heading into the final round. Round 4, smarts and features. This is where we look at the software, the connectivity, and all those other little details that can make or break the experience. Now this is a critical difference you need to know about. Samsung basically has a walled garden. If you have a Samsung phone, the experience is amazing, with deep integration and features that just work seamlessly. But if you're on an iPhone, there's no dedicated app, so you miss out on a lot. Soundcore is the opposite. It's an open platform. Their app works fully on any device, so everyone gets the exact same great experience. When we're talking about pure connectivity performance, Samsung actually has the edge. It uses a newer Bluetooth version, and the connection felt just a little more stable in our testing. But the real win for Samsung is for all you gamers out there. The Buds FE have a gaming mode that has almost zero noticeable lag. The Soundcore also has one, but there's a slight delay that you can definitely perceive. Let's wrap this round up with a quick feature face-off. For durability, Samsung's IP54 rating means it's protected against dust and water, which is a big advantage over Soundcore's water-only rating. For battery life, Soundcore has a slight edge, lasting about an hour longer with the noise cancellation turned on. And if you love the convenience of wireless charging, well, your only choice between these two is the Soundcore. And there we have it. We've gone through all 4 rounds. We've looked at everything from the design and comfort to the sound and features. Now it is time for the final verdict. So here it is, the final scorecard. Samsung clearly wins on comfort and its practical, durable design. Soundcore takes the trophy for both overall noise cancellation and pure sound quality, especially with that LDAC support. And for features and the app, it's a tie, because it completely depends on what kind of phone is in your pocket. So which one is right for you? It's actually pretty simple. You should go for the Galaxy Buds FE if you are a loyal Samsung user, if you play a lot of mobile games, or if you just really prioritize all-day comfort. On the flip side, you should choose the Liberty 4 Pro if raw sound quality is everything to you, if you need to block out office noise, or if you use an iPhone or a mix of different devices and want all the features to work perfectly. We've laid out all the facts, all the figures, all the pros and cons from this showdown. At the exact same price, these are 2 very different products, aimed at 2 very different kinds of people. So the final question really is for you. Now that you know all this, which one would you choose?
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the latest update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end and see you in the next video.